we learn about the skeleton system. You all know what skeleton system means, isn't it? We say at the earlier definition, skeleton is the rigid framework of the body, would protect the delicate organs in the body, isn't it? So our main topic of today is part of mammalian skeleton. Part of mammalian skeleton. So the part of mammalian skeleton is being divided into two main parts. That is, we have one, the axial skeleton, and the appendicular skeleton. Appendicular skeleton and the axial skeleton. These are the two main parts of the mammalian skeleton as how the body of the human being is being divided. I hope you understand. If you could remember during our explanation of the tilapia fish, we say the body of tilapia fish is being divided into three: head, trunk, and tail. So come to this, under this part of mammalian skeleton, we are now, or we want to know the division of the body of the human body, isn't it? So it's divided into two. That is, the one part we call it axial skeleton, and then the other part we call it appendicular skeleton. So the axial skeleton include one, skull. Include the skull. When we talk of the skull also known as the brain box of the head, or is a framework of the head which protect the delicate organs such as the what? Such as the brain, isn't it? Yes. So that is one under axial skeleton. And then also includes sternum. Sternum is a very hard bone. As you can see, this is the structure of the mammalian skeleton. As you can see, we are talking of the axial skeleton. We say it includes the skull, the sternum, isn't it? So this is the sternum, as you can see. The sternum is a very hard and strong bone. I hope you understand. Yes. Who join together with the what? With the pit of the ribs, isn't it? They join together to make the heart, or to protect the heart against external danger, such as the blow, isn't it? Yes. So this is what we call it, the sternum. And then we also have the what? The ribs. The ribs. These are the ribs, which are located or found at the chest region. Entirely, we call this place as thoracic cavity. Both the sternum and the ribs, they are located at what? Thoracic cavity. I hope you understand. Yes. So the ribs also include under the what? Under the axial skeleton, isn't it? There are 12 pairs of the ribs, isn't it? This side 12, this side 12, isn't it? And then they also help in terms of respiration. As you are breathing in and out, isn't it? The intercostal muscles, that is the spaces between the ribs, is what? Is rising up and is relaxing, or is contracting and relaxing, isn't it? Try to breathe in air. All of you try to do like this. How will you feel? How do you feel? You feel that the ribs goes up, isn't it? Yes. By the time when you exhale, you will feel that it will relax, isn't it? So this is the thoracic cavity. And then we also have the backbone, which is the vertebral column, isn't it? Yes. The backbone, also known as the vertebral column, or the vertebral column also known as the backbone. I have to understand. There are about 33 vertebrae. There are what? 33 vertebrae. That means there are about 33 bones, starting from the what? Starting from the head down to the tail region, which we call it coccyx, isn't it? Yes. I hope you understand. Yes. So the first bone here, we call it what? We call it atlas. But they are joined together. There are 7 bones, which we call them cervical bone. In nutshell, the vertebral column group into 5. We have what? We have the cervical. We have the cervical bone. We have the thoracic bone. We have the lumbar bone, and then we also have the sacral bone, and then we also have the what? Caudal bone. They are grouped. So and then each of them is numbered. Like this cervical bone, they are located at the neck region. They are located at what? At the neck region. starting from the first bone down here, there are 7 in numbers, isn't it?
Yes.
The first vertebrae known as the atlas and the second one known as the axis. So in between the atlas and the axis, there is a fluid which we call it synovial fluid. So this fluid is the one which enables the head to nod like this, or to rotate like this, or to nod like this, isn't it?
Yes.
You can be able to do like this. It's with the help of this cervical synovial fluid, isn't it?
Yes.
That is why at times you can see when someone sustains injury in accident, especially it affects the neck, you can see that the person cannot be able to turn completely like this. Or at times he will be given something by the what? By the doctors to apply in his neck in order not to allow his head to be moving, isn't it?
Yes.
I have to understand, because the head is injured, isn't it? So it's very, very important one to take care of his body, isn't it? And then followed by the what? Followed by the thoracic bones. The thoracic bone, there are 12 in numbers. They are what? They are 12 in numbers. I have to understand.
Yes.
Then the lumbar bone, there are 7. They are down to the what? Down to the thoracic bone. Then follow the sacral bone. They are also what?
5.
They are also what in number?
5.
They are 5 in number, isn't it? Then caudal bones. Which is what?
5.
Are you sure?
Yes.
5?
Yeah.
Okay, let us calculate whether it's true, because we say all in all they are what? 33 in number. We have 7 at the what? Cervical bone. We have 12 at the what? Thoracic bone. We have what? 5 in what? Lumbar. And then the what?
5 is a caudal.
5 in caudal. It's like this? Okay, count it.
Lumbar is 7.
Lumbar is what?
7.
7. And then what?
Sacral and caudal is 5.
Sacral and caudal is 5. Okay, let's calculate. 7 plus 12. 19. Plus 7. 19 plus 7.
26.
26. Plus 5. 31. 36. You see, our calculation is not right. We said there are 3 in numbers. This is 7. This is 12, isn't it?
Yes.
This is what? This is also 5. This is also 5. And then this is what? 4. Now calculate it. 7. 19. 20 what? 19 plus 5. I don't know, do you mathematics? 24. 24 plus 5. Plus 4. 33. I cracked our brain in order to recall back our JS1 or JS2 mathematics, isn't it?
Yes.
So all in all, there are 33 in numbers. I hope you understand. So this is the first part of the mammalian skeleton. That is the axial skeleton. So when we come to the appendicular skeleton, the appendicular skeleton is made up of the forelimbs and the hind limbs. And then the forelimbs and the hind limbs. The forelimbs started from the what? From the shoulder region up to the what? Up to our pentadactyl limbs, isn't it? From shoulder to here. From here to here is what we call the forelimb. Then the heel limbs. From the what? Heel means back. So right, starting from the what? From the hips region down to the what? Down to the foot of our legs. So look at it practically. So this is what we call the forelimb. As you can see, in the forelimb there are 2 bones. The upper one, which is known as the what? Humerus. And then the down one, which is known as the what? Radius and ulna, isn't it?
Yes.
The bone located at the upper arms of the forelimbs is what we call it humerus. And then the 2 ones which are found at the lower arms of the forelimbs is what we call them the down one, we call it what? Ulna. And then the top one, we call it what? Radius.
Yes.
Now if you do like this with your hand and touch it, you will feel that there are 2 bones. And then one of the bone is what? Is down, while the other bone is at the top, isn't it? Yes. So the down one is the ulna, and then the top one is the what?
Radius.
Is the radius, isn't it? So who can tell me what type of joint is located between these 2 bones, between the upper bones of the forelimb and then the lower bones of the forelimb? Who can tell me?
Hinge joint. Hinge joint.
Hinge joint.
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay. Why do you say hinge joint?
Because it allows movement in one direction.
It's because it allows movement in one direction. Yes, she is clear. Because when we go back to our knowledge of the joint, we say there are movable joint and immovable joint, isn't it? We say movable joint are the joint which allow movement in the body, and then the unmovable joint are the one that does not allow movement in the body, isn't it?
Yes.
So, and then under the one that allow movement in the body, we say they are categorized into what? Into four. We have ball and socket joint, we have hinge joint, we have pivot joint, and then we also have sliding and gliding joint, isn't it?
Yes.
So we say the joint that are found between the upper arms of the forelimb and the lower arms of the forelimb, she say is hinge joint. She is right. Why? Because hinge joint allow movement in only one direction. As you do like this, you can't turn it back like this, isn't it?
Yes.
So that is the hinge joint. So now what we are going to do now, I'm going to give you assignment to go and make a well-level diagram of skeleton system. Is understood?
Yes.
Any question? So thank you. Let's call it a day.